And yes, y'all, it has been a couple of weeks. And of course, I have not done one of these since before the brand new year. So happy new year to all of y'all that are watching this shit right up and through here. Your girl has been through it these last couple weeks. She's injured right now, so you're gonna notice that I'm gonna have a little bit less mobility in this video because I'm on pain pills and all kinds of prescription drugs right now. So I apologize in advance if I'm a little bit loopy. However, I wanted to make sure that I came in and did this shit today. So that is why there has been a lapse as of late, because your girl is on the meds, okay? And when I say meds, I mean your bitch had a steroid shot in my ass, and she's on steroids, muscle relaxers, painkillers, and anything you could possibly think of right now. And so we're just trying to get back on the mend and get back to normal, okay? And I hope you guys had the most amazing new year. Hope you guys were safe with your family and your friends over Christmas and over New Year's. And we're just go ahead and get this motherfucker started, okay? So y'all already know the deal. Your bitch is on a motherfucking diet, and my ass is stayed in this motherfucking gym. So yo bitch is on that diet soda recap juice. Delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with Mama Joyce, who y'all know we haven't seen in a minute and a motherfucking half, and Candy's ass, and they're going to the baby store to get some shit for the baby, because I guess Candy's ass is a little bit torty for the party with regard to trying to get her ass set up with the baby's room and all that shit. And of course, Mama Joyce is, trying to get a little something going, because I guess she wasn't really in Riley's life, okay, as much as she should have been as a grandmother, so she's trying to be involved in this one. And I guess sometime in between, I guess Mama Joyce done made amends with Todd, and they showed a little flashback of that shit, which I hope lasts, because that shit was stupid as fuck, right? And now with the new baby, hopefully that'll bring that shit together. But anyway, they get to talking and shit as they're walking around. And, Mama Joyce is like, what was going on with Phaedra and what happened with all that shit? And now, I didn't do the recap on that particular episode, but y'all know that shit was blown the fuck out of proportion by a whole old dude, Don Juan, and his little messy ass, okay? And Carmen trying to get all involved as well. And y'all know it didn't even have to go as far as it motherfucking did. To be real, the three girls, from what I saw, were just having a regular ass conversation. And of course, Phaedra has her own opinions as to what's going on with her and Todd and Candy's ass and all that shit. And it wasn't like any of the other girls who were for real trying to be messy. They were just asking questions and shit. They weren't blowing up spots. They weren't tripping or whatever. They weren't making a motherfucking scene. Don's the one who came up on them bitches like, what the fuck y'all talking about? And I'm like, nigga, sit your motherfucking ass down with your little messy ass trying to get yourself a little peach. Y'all know he's trying to get like a permanent spot on the motherfucking show as hard as he rides for this motherfuckers. But anyway, that whole thing was blown out of proportion. Of course, this last episode, Candy sat down with Porsha. That didn't really even go very well, to be real. I mean, they seemed like they kind of sort of resolved it, but, Candy seemed a little bit, upset about the shit. And Porsha's like, look, I'm just trying to be there for both of y'all. I'm hoping y'all can come back on the same accord. So now we're here with Mama Joyce, who's trying to ask what's going on. And of course, Candy, because the only information she's been given is pretty much given by Carmen and Don Juan's old messy ass, she's pretty much like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, and Phaedra's, trying to play the pity party and all this other bullshit, right? So now as she's telling Mama Joyce this shit, of course, Mama Joyce is like, yeah, I really think I need to go ahead and talk to this bitch. And I'm like, I'm talking about Phaedra, right? And I'm like, Mama Joyce don't need to do a motherfucking thing. This bitch just, made a bends with Todd. I'm with Candy on that shit. Like, stay the fuck out this shit. But I guess supposedly she's trying to go ahead and try to see if she can meet up with Phaedra to try to see if she can get the both of them on one accord. So we move on to Kenya, and she is now in Detroit with her little boy Brandon and her aunt. And I guess she's trying to get something together, like some kind of family reunion, because y'all know she comes from a broken home, pretty much. She ran away from home at one point, doesn't have a good relationship or a relationship at all with her mother. Her mother done gave her up after 3 days after having birthed her. And, so anyway, her aunt's been in her life and that type of thing. And now I guess at this point, Kenya's trying to get everyone back on one accord and try to have some form of relationship with her mother. She just recently had, in the last episode, I want to say, had a conversation with her father and was apologetic about the fact that she done ran away. He also cried some tears talking about how it affected him when she did run away and all that shit. So at this point, she's trying to get everyone together in Detroit. I can't can't even talk today, in Detroit for a family reunion to try to make amends with everybody in the family. From there, we move on to Cynthia's ass, who's all up in her closet trying to figure out what the fuck to put together for her suitcase, because I guess Peter's finna take her ass away someplace and he ain't told her where the fuck they finna go, okay? So she's talking to his daughter, trying to figure out what kind of things she should bring. I guess the only thing he done told her is, hey, bring some sexy shit, and it's about to be on and crack-a-lackin'. Now, here's the deal. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I really want to believe that whatever the fuck is going on between these two is gonna be cool. I mean, granted, they're on television, and they kind of probably, for financial reasons and business purposes and for the purpose of the show, probably should stay together for the purpose of all the shit they got going on right now. However, I've just seen too much from the show already that shows to me that I don't really know if Peter's going to really be able to kind of win that affection back from Cynthia. I think Cynthia's kind of been done and over with this relationship. I don't think she's really attracted to Peter. Like, holla at your girl. Let me know if you feel the same way. I mean, I just don't feel as though she's just attracted to Peter anymore. And that is a huge part of what is going to make any relationship work. Like, if you don't feel an attraction physically to somebody that you're with, that automatically, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So from what I'm seeing, I don't really get that. I just feel like she's just going through the motions at this point. Does that make sense? Like, I think that she loves him. I think that he absolutely loves her. I just think that, honestly, I think she's just ready to move the fuck on. From an emotional perspective, I think she wants to, try some other, you know what I mean, dip into some other waters. This is just an impression. I don't know, I don't know the bitch from shit, but if I had to guess, I think that ship has sailed. However, he's trying, right? So I guess she told, the daughter, hey, he told me to put some sexy things in a suitcase, and I don't know where the fuck we going, but we gonna try it out and see what's up. And I guess she done said the only way they're gonna work on this shit is if they work on this solo dolo. So we gonna see where they go and what the fuck happens with that shit. Now we're at a hotel room is what it looks like. And I guess we got Kenya's stepmama, okay, who's married to her dad, and her nephew and her dad that basically showed up. I guess they're there to support the whole family reunion type situation. They sit down, have a little powwow. Then we move on to Porsha's ass, who's doing these little partner workout sessions with her trainer and shit. And I actually follow her on Instagram, so I've seen some of the shit. Yeah. Anyway, talking about this motherfucker got her all the way right and tight and brought her waistline down, bitch. We know you went under the knife too, bitch. We know. But either way, it is all good. You look good, boo-boo. So I guess she done called her sister down there, who you already know she has some beef with, because now her sister's pregnant and shit. And so now she's kind of seemingly flaky on the JOBB because she's pregnant, okay? So now they go off to the side and they having a conversation because she's upset about a package that was supposed to have been delivered, and I guess her sister wasn't there to receive the package, so of course Porsha's company or her has to pay $200 or whatever for whatever, having to reship the motherfucker. Either way, the whole conversation started because of that shit. She feels like her sister isn't really doing what she's supposed to do, running her businesses for her, and that when she turns her back, that her sister should be there to kind of pick up the pieces and do what it is that she's supposed to fucking do and what she pays her to do, okay? So I knew this kind of shit was gonna kind of pop off, and I had a feeling it was gonna get a little heated. And part of the shit I see, partly, just my opinion, let me know down below what y'all think. Y'all know she's mentioned about 1,000,000 times that she's obviously feeling some type of way about the fact that her ass is pregnant before she is, and is starting a family before she is, and never imagined that her sister would start a family before she does. And after having been married and all that kind of stuff, that she thought that her life was going to be like her sister's life is now. Now she's like, I just have to just bear the burden of whatever I have, and I have my businesses, but I don't have my family. So I feel like she's holding that up against her sister, who's now pregnant, doing what it is that Porsha thought at this point she'd be doing, right? Now, the other side of things, though, too, is her sister, seems like she's getting a little lax, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there's plenty of people that are pregnant that continue to work, continue to go to an office, and continue to do with their JOB and their day-to-day routine, pregnant or not. She ain't 9 months pregnant. I mean, the bitch is young. The bitch isn't even that far along. You see Candy's ass is full-on pregnant. She's still out here working in these motherfucking streets. So that also comes across to me as though, her sister's got some animosity towards her. Like, she's like, I'm seeing these motherfucking numbers, bitch. You making this money, bitch, and you still got me flying coach, bitch, while you up in first class and we on the same flight going to the same destination. I'm supposed to be with you at every beck and, I'm supposed to be dealing with you for whatever the fuck you need, your every beck and call, right? So clearly there's some animosity going on both sides, okay? So they pretty much blew up. Long story short, Porsha's like, I need you to be here. Do you not want your job? And the bitch is like, look, do you even realize how much you make from your shit? And basically, bitch, you ain't paying me shit for me to be running all up and through, trying to be at your every beck and call, and my ass is pregnant, and I don't even need to be in the office for me to do work for you. All I need is a motherfucking computer. Anyway, more seemingly some interpersonal shit going on than it is about a business thing, if that makes sense. And y'all gonna have to let me know what y'all think about that shit. Do you think her sister needs to man up, suck it up, and just be done with the shit and just get back to her job? Do you think that she had a right to trip? Do you think she should be riding first class with this girl? Holla at your girl down below. Let me know what y'all think. But that should be interesting to see how that shit pans out. All right, so now we're at Phaedra's office, and I guess Mama Joyce decides to go ahead and pop up on Miss Phaedra, right? Because they're about to have a little conversation to see what can be made out of this whole situation between her and Candy. So Mama Joyce shows up or whatever, and Phaedra's ass is like, shit, what the fuck does this bitch want now, right? And anyway, long story short, Mama Joyce pretty much is like, look, I'm just trying to get y'all on one accord. I need y'all to come back to where y'all were before. It'd be great if we could somehow make amends between the two of y'all. And everything was cool up until she got to the point where she was talking about the fact that Candy's ass has a high risk pregnancy, and that if anybody gets in the motherfucking way of that shit, that you know how I do. And I was like, well, damn, bitch, yeah, go ahead and bully her into that shit too. But I guess from there she went ahead and told her she needs help with putting together a shower. So, of course, Phaedra's ass is like, yeah, we're going to come up with some kind of themed shower, and we're going to see. I don't know. We're going to see what happens from there. Now we go back to Porsha and her sister. I think her name is Laura. I don't even know if I even caught her name all these times. Anyway, so I guess she shows up at Laura's house, and they get to chit-chatting about their little altercation the other day when they went to the damn gym. And I guess, y'all can tell, clear as day, obviously old girl didn't want to tell Porsha that she was pregnant because she knew that she'd feel some type of way, which she was right about, because clearly she does feel some type of way, that she's supposedly living her dream right now at this point, that she wanted the family, etc., etc. And of course, Porsha's trying to mask the fact that she's bothered by that shit, stuffing her damn face with every motherfucking piece of fruit in that damn tray along with the caramel apple. I was like, damn bitch, you hungry today? But anyway, it seems like they kind of, squashed it or whatever. But like I said, it seems like clearly there's some animosity, there's some jealousy, and that's kind of what's causing the strain right now between the two of them motherfuckers. Now we're in the bus with Brandon and Kenya, her dad, and everyone, and they're headed over to her mama's house, right? And they're having conversations about Kenya's upbringing and all of that shit. Turns out she ended up going to the door. She's like, I'm just going to go up to the house. I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to knock at the door, and I'm hoping she's going to come out. That is her mom, right? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I talk a whole bunch of shit on Kenya, but that whole storyline is absolutely just heart-wrenching to me. To have your mama just not have any relationship with you, to not have your relationship with your mom at all, for her to not answer the door, for her to be like, I don't want to fuck with this girl, that is just hard. You know what I'm saying? And that was hard to watch. As much as I think Kenya's crazy, your upbringing and a lot of your background does have a lot to do with how you end up a lot of the time. It does influence some of that. And y'all know she's a little quirky. And some of that shit, I guarantee you, comes from having that brokenness in her life, which like I said, that was heart-wrenching to see that, to hear that, even though I'm sure the girl saw the cameras, I'm sure the girl saw the van somewhere outside and was like, fuck that shit. But I don't think she would have opened the door either way, because just based on what they were saying and having conversations about in the car with her dad and stuff, that she wouldn't have opened the door, whether cameras, cars, vans, or whoever was there. If it was just Kenya on her own, she would have never opened the door. But it's just, that whole thing was just heart-wrenching. So anyway, I guess she said that's the only time she's going to make it a point to go out there, make it a point to extend an olive branch to see if she could open the lines of communication. And that's pretty much how that went. That was just sad as fuck. But I guess they left from there, and I guess we'll see if there's anything that happens with that relationship from that point. Phaedra goes and meets with Todd, I guess, at the studio, because now they're going to try to settle up on this whole tape situation, okay? So I guess she shows up, and I guess one of his techs or his assistants or whatever basically starts showing her some of the footage. She said she's never really going to release the tape, but at this point, she's just like, fuck it. you know, I don't need them coins, no way. I ain't hurting for them coins because I have jobs. So regardless of whatever the fuck, I'm not gonna release this shit, but I'm gonna go ahead and pay you your $8,400 and something dollars. So you know, Todd's all excited, talking about I might have to give Mama Joyce a little cut of that shit. And you know, she kind of has to figure some shit out. Probably does need to get that shit paid before she try to put together some kind of shower. This whole thing is just, it's just crazy as fuck. But I guess supposedly the next day she's like, I'm gonna pay him this $8,000 because I ain't really hurting for the shit. Now we are over at the reunion, okay? And this is Kenya's reunion, right? And I had a little teary moment, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like, I'm not really the biggest fan of Kenya and all her antics and shit. But seeing this whole storyline had me a little fucked up. Not gonna lie. She basically got everyone together. It's primarily her dad's side of the family. Her grandmother, who raised her on her paternal grandmother, was there also, who she's always called mom, and was there also. And you know, they had a little kumbaya moment and said some prayers and all of that. And it was heart-wrenching. It was just heart-wrenching. Like that whole situation is just fucked up as hell, right? And even when her dad was saying the prayer, and it was just, I mean, I literally like choked up, like, bitch, stop it, okay? And then she kind of turns around and is like, where's my aunt? Which I was wondering the same thing. Like, I never saw any other additional footage with her aunt. I guess somebody said that she basically left. So I don't know what the fuck happened with that shit, but you could tell at that very moment, like, for real, that her ass was just even more hurt by that. So I don't know what happened with the aunt. I guess they're gonna let us know what happens, hopefully sometime before this episode's over. So, nothing really else happened in this daggone episode. Honestly, this seemed more like the storyline was pretty much around Kenya and her reunion and her storyline, and that's pretty much it. I mean, this wasn't a very, you know, crazy-ass episode as we usually would expect. However, what I can say is next week, we're gonna see the return of Nene. I'm sure y'all saw the previews for the next episode, and I'm kind of curious to see how they gonna fit that shit in. I thought she was gonna show up on vacation with them, so maybe they had put that out and, you know, publicity-wise, just to get people hyped up, thinking that was gonna happen midway through the season, because it just looks like she showed up at Cynthia's doorstep, but whatever. Either way, we're going to be recapping the next episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are definitely going to be talking about her return. I'm wondering how many episodes she's going to return for. I'm wondering if it's just going to be for this episode or if she's trying to do it for the rest of the season. To be completely real, I didn't really miss Nene. To be completely real, I was over Nene last season. Y'all know that. I've been over Nene probably for the last 2 seasons. So it's been kind of nice not really having her ass around. However, this last episode being as dry as it was, outside of, you know, Kenya's storyline, I guess they kind of need a little bit of Nene. So anyway, make sure you guys thumbs up this video for your girl doing the video. Just so you guys know, I'm on the mend. We are working it out. You can probably tell that I'm in pain, literally doing this video right now. So please thumbs up this video for your girl going through this with pain all down her side, all the way down to her hand. Yes, I've been looked at by a doctor, and we are working on it right now as we speak. Outside of that, you guys already know what to do. Thumbs up the video. Make sure you guys holler at your girl down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode and all that I asked you guys earlier. And we'll be back for another recap of this episode, or of this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And so yeah, y'all, you already know what to do. As always, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/SocialiteSandy. Hit me up on my Facebook fan page and my Pinterest page. Those links are down below. Hit me up on my blog, TheSocialiteLife.blogspot.com. Actually, it's TheSocialiteLife.com, although they'll both direct you to the same spot. And follow me on Periscope, Snapchat, and everywhere else at Socialite Sande, Sande. And you already know I love y'all. And I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.